Hi, we're here with Dr. Gregory Daniels, Associate Professor at Moores Cancer Center in San Diego, California. And we're just going to ask Dr. Daniels what he thinks is the key message in terms of really trying to lower cancer rates, and especially cancer rates in melanoma.
Thanks, Clint, and hello, everybody. So, of course, Southern California, you think of the sun and staying out of the sun, but the message that I really want people to focus on is early detection. And early detection, by that I mean being aware of the changes in your skin. You know, we have been promoting a lot about the ABCDs of melanoma. Turns out the better thing to focus on is the E, or evolution, change. And if you see a spot that's changing, got a nice sign by my door, see spot change, see a dermatologist. And I think that's wise in this day and age when melanoma is becoming increasingly higher incidence and death rate. We don't quite understand why, but we know that if you find it early and can cut it out, your chances are much better.
What are those percentages? You know, of what benefit does early detection have? Like, is it in the 90% or is it?
Right. If you're a stage 1, which is a thin melanoma, and for melanomas we're talking just a millimeter of tumor thickness. So if you're a thin melanoma in stage 1, your chances of living 10 years are greater than 90%.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're found to be stage 2, that all of a sudden drops down to a chance of dying of 20% or more. And then stage 3 and above it just gets worse. And so stage 3 is when it's gone into lymph nodes.
Yeah.
So finding it before it gets a chance to send out its seeds.
And what is the time for it to go from stage 1 to stage 3? You know, does that depend on the individual, or is it a standard amount of time that it travels? And
it's not clear. For example, we know for colon cancer that polyps develop over a series of pretty defined genetic things that we can do colonoscopies, and we know we don't have to do them every 2 years because it takes 7 years to go from a polyp to a cancer. We have those type of data. For melanoma, we have no idea. The genetics of melanoma, which are just being figured out, show us that there are different types of melanomas. We knew that histologically, but now we know that there are BRAF-dependent melanomas, there are c-KIT-dependent melanomas, and I'm sure we'll find other pathways that are activated and important to the natural history of these diseases.
so just for the people back in Australia, just let them know that what the United States are playing in the role of really finding out a cure, or at least a really good response to advanced melanoma.
So clinical trials are the key. I think I saw that on your blog earlier, and I'll give that pitch too. For patients that even with an early stage melanoma, ask the question, is there a clinical trial? Because that's how we're making some progress. And two main approaches that are getting at least some hope is the targeted therapies. And so there are mature studies now with pills that you can take to turn off your melanoma. They're not perfect drugs, but that's not perfect drugs yet. We just need to do some more research on that. And then people are using the immune system and targeting it in ways that just a few years ago we weren't able to do. And for example, we spoke earlier about cell-based therapies where patients' own immune cells are taken out of the body, and after a series of conditioning approaches, they're given back to the patient and seen very high response rates that appear to be durable. So there's really kind of two approaches, these targeted therapies and the immune therapies, that hopefully will merge and give us some real control of this increasing incidence of melanoma.
Oh, that's great. So you've been on melanomaroadtripusa.com, you've seen the blog, and you'll be on there shortly. So thank you, Dr. Daniels.
Thanks, Clint.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.